What's the word? Positive energy all the time. You see what it is? Tonight is serious. It's going down. It's serious tonight. No games. We're not playing no games, okay? So if you in the chat, you want to play games, you got to come back tomorrow, okay? You got to come back tomorrow. This is a PSA. Not a game, okay? It's not a game tonight. I hope y'all doing all right. See these gloves? Get you some of these. Get you some of these right here. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you end up in the woods, right? Right? If you up in the woods, you know anything about the woods, anything like that, right? Then you want to protect your hands. You know what I'm saying? You want to protect your hands. What's these called? I don't know. Let me look it up for you. You want to protect your hands at all times. Your hands and your feet, okay? You want to protect your hands and your feet. You need to have steel-toe shoes that you can walk in, like sneakers with the steel toe in the inside, right? So these are tactical gloves. These are tactical gloves, and you can get them at a lot of different websites. All you got to do is Google tactical gloves. Okay, you can get them on Amazon, right? You can get them on Amazon. They're called tactical gloves. All right. They're called tactical gloves. You can get them, right? You can get them in different colors. Okay. You protect your fingers and your hands because you have to if you have to be outside, you know, you definitely got to protect your hands and your feet and your eyes because if you hurt your hand, that could really mess up your chances of survival. And if you hurt your feet, you can't walk. You know what I'm saying? You can't walk if you hurt your hands. You can't work. If you hurt your feet, you can't walk. You know what I'm saying? You see? Protects your thumbs, protects the inside of your hand, protects your knuckles so you can work, because you might have to work. You might have to break branches, right? You understand? You see? I just let my dreads go down the back of my coat. So my dreads be inside my coat and go down the back. But if I'm out, I might tie them up in a knot. But mostly I have them go down the back of my coat and have my jacket over. You put your clothes on top. You have your dreads hanging down. You put your clothes on top. If they're hanging outside your coat, you take a rubber band, you fold them up, and you wrap them so they're not hanging out. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into all of that tonight. We're on some survival stuff. Y'all need to be prepared, you know what I'm saying? And stop thinking that the system is unbreakable and that the system is just always going to be working. The system not going to always be working. Okay? You got to stop being spoiled thinking that, oh, the light's just going to always be on. Oh, the gas going to just always be on. You got to stop thinking like that. And you got to start thinking realistically. Okay? We living in some serious times. Ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? So I've been promising y'all I was gonna do a thorough survival live, so I'm gonna do it tonight. We're gonna get into it thoroughly. We're gonna get into that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into it for real. Because there's a lot going on. You better have your eyes open. There's a high possibility of war. A high possibility of war. You know what I'm saying? And there's a high possibility of natural disasters. Natural disasters is really on the upswing. So you need to have a generator at your home. in case the lights go out. You need to keep gas in the car. Okay? You need to keep gas in the car. Top 5 survival equipment: a handgun, a rifle, a canteen with water, a compass, and a way to get fresh water. You understand? That's the top 5. Because you rather have a gun than a knife. You know what I'm saying? So when I get 5, I can't say everything. So I get a top 5. You understand what I'm saying? You want to have your face covered to protect your breathing. Protect any damage to your face. And also for camouflage. But when times get hard, you have to protect all of your body. You have to protect your face. You have to protect your head. This would be a more harder hat. Wouldn't be this. It'd be something more harder. You have to, in emergency situations where you got to go out, where you might got to get out the house, and you might go out in the elements. You got to protect your head, so you want like a construction helmet or something like that. Let's say it's a natural disaster. You don't want no tree branch to fall on your head and knock you out. You might have your family. You might have to be taking your family somewhere safe right when everything is crazy. You might have to move in bad weather because where you at is so bad, you can't stay there. So you got to go look for cover. So now you out in the elements. A construction helmet is a good idea, but something that can strap on under is the best. You know what I'm saying? The main thing you got to remember is that we spoiled. We spoiled. Every day the lights on. Every day the gas on. We get a snow or rain and stuff like that, but we ain't getting no back to back to back tornadoes. We ain't getting no back to back to back hurricanes. We ain't getting no back to back to back floods. So we spoil. You just get up and turn on your microwave. You just get up and turn on the stove. You get up and turn on the lights. So you spoil. You ain't used to not having no light. So you spoil. So we're going to get into it tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's real serious. So that's why I got this mask on. That's why I got these military clothes on. Because you got to get it through your head. This is not no playtime presentation. I'm not playing tonight, okay? This not no joke. This for the serious people. If you ain't serious, I can't help you. Some people don't get serious till it gets serious. But you have to be serious before it gets serious. You can't wait till it gets serious. Then it's too late. You could prepare and nothing happened this year. And nothing happened next year. But 3 years from now it happened. But you was already prepared. Once you get prepared, you can relax. But you don't want to be relaxed without being prepared, especially if you got children. Brothers, especially if you got a wife and children. You are the general. You are responsible for their safety. You are responsible for their protection. You're responsible for them having food, clothing, shelter, water. That's your responsibility as a man. Now, if you're a man and you just been out here playing, what kind of man are you? What kind of man takes life for granted? I'm 67. If you're around my age and you think back, if your parents had jobs and stuff, they would always go to the grocery store so often. And if you remember and you think in the cabinets, there was always cans of food up there that we never really got to and never ate. Why you think they had that soup and them beans and stuff there and a lot of canned food that they never really actually opened and ate? Think about it. Anybody lived in a normal family, when you open the kitchen cabinet, it was always stuff that really kind of never got ate. It was just there. That was emergency food. My parents was born in the 30s, right after the Great Depression. So everybody that was around was always talking about the Great Depression. We had an old brother by the name of George Clark. He was like a family friend of the family. So he was almost like a family member. And he lived through the Great Depression. And he would be in our dining room talking about it. And even as a little child, I paid a lot of attention to what he was saying. And if you're watching the right stuff on social media, and you really looking at the right news, and you ain't watching the news to see who won the NBA game, if you're really watching Russia and China and Ukraine and Canada, and Mexico and the United States, if you're really watching the floods, the hail, if you ain't seen the recent hailstorms, you sleep. Because the media is not going to push that because they don't want to push panic. So even though they might know it's a serious situation, they don't want to scare the public. So you got to pick up on it on your own. Pakistan and India going at it. And guess why they call it a world war? Because Pakistan and India started going at it. Russia and the Ukraine. Israel and the Palestinians and Iran. And then America jumps in it. And then everybody chooses sides. And that's why it'd be a world war, because they end up fighting in all them places at the same time. America picked India, Russia picked Pakistan, like that. And that's how it'd be a world war. You ever know when they talk about World War II, they never clarify the difference between the war with Germany and the war with Japan? Because all of that was World War II. Hiroshima and Nagasaki and Hitler. All that went together. Then they doubled back, and years later, Vietnam. And that almost turned into World War III. That's why America left because the Viet Cong started retreating further and further closer to China. So the American troops, as they fighting, and they're getting out of Vietnam into Cambodia. And that's how they got overran and had to flee Vietnam. Because now you're fighting a lot of countries and you're getting close to China, and China could send troops in there that could overpower you. And they overpowered the USA and they had to run. So we're going to get into it. Get you some food and start storing some food up, right? Check it out. So check it out. You see what the Queen say? North Korea sent soldiers to Russia, right? You see what MD said? Both have nuclear weapons. Okay, let's say somebody let off a nuclear weapon. What you gonna do? Because if you ain't got no iodine tablets for you and your family, your thyroid is gonna unalive you. Because when your thyroid take in that radiation, it ain't gonna be able to handle it unless you got iodine tablets. This is not iodine that you take like vitamins. Do not take these. These are only in the case of a nuclear attack, where you will seal the windows and everything to your home, and you will give these to your family. When the rumors was going out that there was drones out there, and they was saying that they was looking for a dirty bomb, like a nuclear briefcase on the East Coast, and that's what those drones was looking for. And the United States government was pretending they didn't know what y'all was talking about by drones because they didn't want to expose what them drones was really doing. These almost sold out that week. I called all my family members and made them go get these. You understand? I already had a bottle of a different brand, but I had them for a while, so I got another bottle of these because these was the biggest sellers. Okay, and they were selling out like hotcakes. All right, so we're gonna get into everything that's going on. First, we're gonna start with food. Now you see this top? This is the top that goes on buckets like this. You have a bucket like this, and this is for storing food. And this top screws on and locks, okay? You understand? This is for storing food, okay? Gamma sealed lid. This will prevent bugs and stuff from getting to your food that you have put away for your family. So I just showed you a video of what I did with the food. And what you have to do with your beans and rice and grains is take them in the bags and put them inside freezer bags like this. This is lentils, red lentils, regular lentils in a freezer bag. Then you put this freezer bag with this in the freezer for 5 days. That way, if there's any bugs in the grains, because sometimes it be bugs in there and they'll breed, but you can't tell for a long time. So like during the pandemic, I had bought some food and I had it in the cabinet and the pandemic was over. And like a year and a half later, 2 years, I went to get the stuff and it was just bugs running all through one of them. So you take this, you put it in a freezer bag. You put it in the freezer for 5 days. It will kill it could only got to be one little bug in there. And that could turn to thousands. So you put it in the freezer, it's going to kill any bugs. But it will not kill the eggs. Okay? So then you take it out the freezer and you sit it on the counter for 5 days and let it thaw. If there's any eggs in there, because it was so cold, when you sit it out, all the eggs gonna hatch. So then you put it back in the freezer for 5 days. That would kill any eggs that hatched. Then you take it out, let it thaw, and you're ready to store it. Now I've had this for probably over a year. Now it's got an expiration date on the food, but that expiration date on beans and rice just shows you the best time to eat it. When the expiration date is over, it doesn't go bad. It can last from 5 to 10 years. It just begins to lose flavor. But if you got spices, you can add flavor to it. You don't care. So you should have spices in jars also in here and bay leaves in here in case something do sneak and get in here. The bay leaves will stop anything from even trying to get in here. You understand? Lentils. I want to show y'all I'm not playing. More lentils. Brown rice and lentils. black beans, and red beans. Couscous, all sealed, all has been treated, and all in here. And this would be sealed. And this is the food that would begin to lose its flavor, but it's going to be edible. And then I just put it in here and I just seal it, okay? There's also some basmati rice, okay? But it can't fit in here because it's full up to the top, okay? And these is the gamma lids, okay? These are the kind of lids you got to get. Gamma seal lids. You can't get regular lids. You got to get the lid that you can close and seal it, okay? These buckets don't cost much, okay? You got to listen, man. Everything ain't no joke, okay? Bucket number 2. What do you see? More rice. So that's 1 big bag of rice. That's 2 big bags of rice. That's 3 big bags. This is jasmine. That's basmati. This is jasmine. 4 big bags of rice. And again, a bag of black beans, lentils, red kidney beans, and I don't know what this stuff is in the back. It's stuff all in the back too. Some more black beans, some more lentils. So it's like 6 bags in each one of these. The ones you see on the top and the ones on the bottom. Okay? Now, these will be the expiration date, but they'll still last 5 to 10 years. I've only had them, I ain't had them 2 years yet. These will be sealed, and then I'll get a whole new fresh group. Okay? I'm going to buy all this again next week, but it will be put into, same process. I'm going to put it in the freezer 5 days, take it out, let it sit 5 days, put it back in the freezer 5 days, let it sit, and I'm going to put these in jars in the kitchen. And these jars, I'm going to line them up, mason jars, and I'm going to use it, but every time I'm going to use it from this end, and every time I slide the jars down, I'll go to the store and buy new and put it in the back. So the next food I'm buying going to be interchangeable, but it's always going to be way more than I can eat. And the reason I'm doing the interchangeable, because those jars, every time I go back to the store in 6 weeks, there'll be a new expiration date. So the ones in the front, they won't be ready to expire either, but they're going to expire before the ones in the back. And I'm going to eat from the front and move them up and move them up. And every time they move up some more, buy some more, put it in the back. So I'm going to keep the cabinet full, but I'm going to use that. I'm not going to use this. So if anything's happening, the first thing I'm going to eat is all the food I'm going to have stored in the cabinet. Right? Right? And this food will be, if things really get bad and that food in the cabinet runs out, then I got this food. This also food to be like, oh, if it's a bad natural disaster, they can't get things fixed for 2 months, then I could give my children some food. They live all over the country. So I'd have to find out a way to ship it to them that it gets there, because people will be stealing the mail. Because in desperate times, they're going to go through that mail to see if there's any food. So in desperate time, all bets going to be off. So the only people I'll be absolutely able to help is the ones I could get to that's here in Chicago or somewhere here in Illinois where I could drive to them and get to them if they let you even drive on the road. You understand? So all I can do for them is what I've been doing for them, telling them to buy this stuff. But what my grandparents used to say is, a hard head leads to a soft behind. So you can only tell people, but if they don't listen, what you want me to do? You way in some other state. Your daddy done told you to get some food. I could have sent you $100 to buy some beans and rice, but you didn't take it serious. And now when everything collapsed, you want to know what I could do. But do we even got phone service? Do we even have phone service? You understand? Do we even have phone service? So my next buy to try to make sure I can help the family is I'm going to shell out a bunch of money and get some of these. These are like phones that work directly with each other, like long distance walkie-talkies. They got a lot of different brands. So these are long distance walkie-talkies that when the communication go down, you'll still be able to talk to your wife, talk to your children, your grandchildren, your uncle, whoever, your grandparents. So I'm going to get everybody some of these. And we're going to all be on the same station where if everything collapsed, we will still be able to communicate. And we're going to use them while everything is up so we can make sure we know how to use them. So that's one of my next things I'm going to be getting. Okay? So I wanted to come over and I'm looking serious because this is how it's going to be. The only thing going to be different is I'm going to have on a better mask than this if everything get crazy. And it could get really crazy. And it could go to the point where it's getting ridiculous. And if it's getting to the point where it's getting super crazy, then that's when you need to be able to break out this baby. Now, if they really get crazy, I'm going to break this out. Hold on. And this one is pretty good. And then I'm going to get another one that's even better than this one. And this one, that goes on the front. These go on the side. Right? And you are able to protect yourself. A lot of brothers that use certain ink printers, when they change the ink, they have to wear these because the ink is toxic. Okay? Boom. And you're ready to go. Okay? So the next thing I got to get the next one. I got to get the next level, which is way more expensive. Okay, but I got this one because it was reasonable and it'll protect me from the basic poisons. It'll protect me from the basic poisons because I do not believe in the system, and the system is not God. And so I refuse to live in the system as if the system is God. The system is not God. Actually, the system is the opposite of God. The system is not righteous whatsoever, not the least little bit. The system that we are in is no good. Absolutely is not. And it's designed to collapse. And it's amazing that people are so full of poison and they eat so bad and they so consumed with media, unintelligent media, that they just think everything is sweet. They can't even see how fragile the city is, how fragile uh, the situation is that we living in. We living in a fragile situation. One of the things that I'm about to order a bunch of these. I had two of them, but I gave one to my daughter's mother. If anything happened to her, then my daughter would be sad. 100-hour candle. This burns for 100 hours, meaning if I burnt this continuously, it would burn for 4 days. But you probably only going to use it at the most 8 hours. So if I use this 8 hours, right? 10 times 8 is 80. So I'll get 12 days. I'll get 12 nights out of just this one. And there's 3 of them in here. So I'll be able to have light at night for 1 month. So I'm going to get about 6 more packs of these. So then I'll have light at night for 6 months. If things is crazy, I'll only use it for 4 hours, and I'll use other light sources that I'll have. 1-hour candles, get these, okay? Get these. Ready hour, 1-hour candles. They come 3 in a pack. At least get 2 packs. If you get 2 packs, you're good for the basic natural disaster, okay? At least get 2 packs. I had 2 packs. I gave one to my daughter's mother. You see, when you have children by people, you end up being responsible for them until they get somebody else that's responsible for them. Okay? Now, one of the most important things is self-defense and protection. One good thing to get for your self-defense is bear spray. Bear spray can keep 6 to 10 people off of you. None of them will be able to see. And this could give you time to get away. And if you really dose them up, they through. They through. So bear spray sprays far. So ladies, this and men too, This will stop them from even being able to get even close enough to you to do anything. Because you can hit them when they like 8 to 10 feet away from you. Because it's made for a bear, and you got to hit a bear way before he get close. So this shoots out. Whoa! Bear spray. Okay? Bear spray. Get a can of bear spray or 2 or 3. Bear spray. That will also help you if there's a pack of rabid dogs. You might live somewhere where there's wild animals, and if everything collapsed, the bears might intrude. Alligators, crocodiles, if you're in Florida. You hit an alligator with this, he finished. He got to go. Crocodile, he all messed up. He all messed up. He all messed up. He can't see, it's burning, and he's finished. And all he's going to try to figure is how to get away from you. Ladies, you should have this anyway. You should have this now. So when you go out, especially if you're a single lady and you're cutting the grass, some stray dog try to run across the street, bam, some man jumps out the car, gonna run up on you. He's not gonna be prepared to do anything to you until he gets at least 4 feet away from you. But you're gonna hit him at 8 feet, and it's gonna be over for him. He ain't gonna be able to do nothing. And that's gonna give you time to escape. So this is something, ladies, you should have anyway, and men too, while you cutting the grass or whatever, so you won't get attacked by no crazy pit bull that somebody done let their pit bull get loose, and here he come looking at you and charging at you. You hit him, bow, bow, and the poor pit bull is done. Okay? The pit bull is done. Done. And you could live where there's wolves. You could live where there's coyotes. And at desperate times, these animals are desperate. Bear spray. Okay? Today, I'm giving you some real info. Okay? You're not going to get this nowhere but other survival channels. I'm the #1 black YouTuber on the internet because I don't have any particular subject matter. That's why you need to support the channel, right? Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. This was sent to me by Brother Pharaoh. One of my subscribers sent this to me. Brother Pharaoh is very much. This is Prepper's Peak. This is nice. Prepper's Peak. Now, what this does is this opens up. And when it opens up, right, you see this light? So now this you can fill with water. When you fill this with water and you lay this in the sun, it's going to solar cook it. And the water's going to be hot. And then that allows you to open it and pour the water on your soup, your noodles, your tea, your coffee. So you're able to boil your food and make you some food, because this will give you hot water, because the sun's going to beam on this. It's going to make this really hot. This is called Preppers. This is by Prepper's Peak. This is by Prepper's Peak. And it's called, let me see what they call it. It's called He covered it up. It's called some kind of heater. It's covered up where he's mailed it to me. It's called some kind of heater. Let me see if I can find it. Let me look it up. Solar water heater. It's called a solar water heater from Prepper's Peak. Okay? A solar water heater. Okay? Where you can heat up your water. Solar cooker. Solar cooker. Some of them, it's called a solar cooker. You can get it on Amazon, Prepper's Peak, solar cooker. Solar water heater for camping outdoor, travel with solar technology. Prepper Peak, solar cooker. Okay? Very handy because if all the electricity go out in the house, you'll be able to go find some sun, right? And you'll be able to warm you up some water. And when you got warm water, you got beans, you got rice, you got food. Okay? This is great to have, and this could go in your bug out bag if you got a bug out. So you might have to bug out. Okay? So you want to get this. Very handy. Very, very handy. Y'all listening? You ready to rock and roll? Let's rock and roll. We're doing it. Okay? We're not playing no games. All right? Now, this is what a lot of people use when they much respect how to cook. I'm glad you adding information. Y'all check out what how to cook is at. Now, this is what they use missionaries and people that go overseas and go place when there's natural disasters, and this is how they drink water, the life straw. You could take this life straw and you could drink the dirtiest water ever, and this will clean it. So this allows you to drink out of ponds and stuff like that without getting any type of bacteria or any type of bug in your system. I had a friend that went to Senegal back in the 80s, and he drank some water, and a parasite got in his stomach, and it grew like 8 feet. And every time they would try to pull it out, it would break. There'd be a foot left, and that would grow to 6 feet. His name was JJ. He almost passed away. They got him back to America, and they finally got in there and got it out of his body. And everybody told him he shouldn't have drank no water in Africa. They told him he should drink Pepsi or Coke or something that's canned. But they told him, don't drink the water. When you go to these foreign countries, don't you drink the water unless it's bottled and it's a reputable company. Okay? So things like this will allow you to drink the water when you're in a situation. Now, let me show you a tactic. Keep you a big umbrella in the house. You know one of them umbrellas you open this big and round? Keep one of those. If you get in a bad situation, and this is what I used to do in Hawaii when I lived in the forest, and you need water, and it starts raining, you take your umbrella, you open your umbrella, right? This umbrella is broken. And when you open your umbrella, you put it on the ground upside down, and the umbrella will catch water. So make sure you get an umbrella that's got the point. You know the big ones that's got the silver point? Get that. And have two of them if you need in the house, just for water. And if you get in a bad situation where the water get contaminated, you can't get no water, it starts raining, open up them two umbrellas, stick that point down in the mud, boom, and it will catch all the rainwater for you. The bigger the umbrella, the more water you're going to have. The more curve in the water in the umbrella, the more water you're going to have. This is a way, don't nobody know this trick. You got to been and lived outside like me. I lived outside in the tropical rainforest for probably 2 or 3 years. I think maybe 3 years. I lived outside under a green tarp. Me, my woman, her child, and the brother I went out to Hawaii with. We lived in a tropical rainforest. So I already got survival skills. I did this back in the mid-'80s. So I have the survival skills already. Okay? I'm trying to give y'all some knowledge so you can make it through these trying times that we're about to have to deal with. There's no escaping it. There's no escaping where we're headed. Because this society is not in tune with nature and is set up in a way where it cannot sustain. And this is why these rich people are building bunkers. That's why they're building bunkers. They're building bunkers because this society cannot sustain. And the information I'm giving you, I'm qualified to give it to you because I've already been tried and tested with living off of the grid. I lived on the mountain of the big island of Hawaii in a subdivision called Glenwood. That was right before you get to the subdivision called Volcano. And I lived in a tropical rainforest outside. This is where I lived. This is Glenwood. I lived in those bushes, in them trees. And this is me up there harvesting in my brethren. This is where I live. You see all that green? You see all them ferns? That's where I lived for 3 years. Outside. For real. In the mountains. In a tropical rainforest. That's me in the back. It was clean. We could take good showers. Ate well. And we're extremely healthy. No joke. So I decided to come over and give you all some information about surviving in this system. Here's another way you can get water. This is called the pure water straw. But I can't stamp this approved like the life straw. I could stamp the life straw as approved. This one is a new company, so I wouldn't use this one. I would use this one, but if it was an absolute emergency, I would probably try it. And then I would always have some parasite remover that I could take because there is parasite things that will run parasites out as fast as they get in. So it would be smart to get some of those strong herbs that run out parasites or some of that dewormer medicine. So if you have to start drinking water and you're not sure, as soon as you drink it, just take the dewormer to stop whatever parasite is from being able to enter into your body. Right? Now, another thing I got is I have two of these. And this is for my reconnaissance. And this is a drone. I have two of them. These are small drones. They were selling them, so I got two of them. And these drones could help me do observation from in the air. It's light, easy for me to put in my bug out bag. And this will be my reconnaissance to make sure that I'm able to see what's going on. They sold me two of them for a reasonable price. I got another case with another one. And this is good to have so you can go up. If you live in a housing, you can go up and you can look and see what's going on the other blocks. Just go straight up and look, right? And be able to look and see what are they doing 2 streets over, 3 streets over. Do you see work crews? Do you see what's going on? You'll also be able to observe surrounding areas. Oh, look, man, who's this dude coming down the alley? You'll be able to see him before he can see you. Drones. Of course, very important, a radio. This is the radio you want to get. Search radio, you're going to see it. It's going to be this green radio, solar powered if necessary. And so that's the solar panel. So even if I'm in the house outside, all I got to do is sit it where it can get some sun. And I don't need no batteries. It's going to charge on its own. This radio takes no batteries. It's self-charging solar. And what's great about it, you say, well, Pharaoh, what if it's dark? What if I don't have no sun? It has a crank to generate power. So you do this, and this will charge it up. Okay? Can't beat it. Like $8, $9. Sometimes you go on Amazon, it might be on sale for $6. You know how they do. So this is crank to charge it up. How could you lose? So now in a natural disaster or whatever, you will know
4 to 60.
What's going on. You feel me? Excellent. And light can go in your bug out bag. You can't beat it. Flashlight, brighter, emergency, can't beat it. Okay? Can't beat it. Can't beat it. Okay? This could help you. And you can charge it with a USB or whatever. You want to have a radio. One of the greatest things about this radio, On top of that is it has a compass on it. Because if you got to bug out and you got to move around, you don't want to be walking around in circles. So a compass will prevent you from walking around in circles. So you got to know I'm going north. So once you leave somewhere, you say, I want to go over there. You're able to know that you're still always going in the same direction by having a compass. So you want to have a lot of equipment that has a compass. Now, no, you don't have no electricity and you want to cook, you want to start a fire. Okay. You have to get some of these paracord carboner. So this is extreme fire starter. This is a fire starter. It's 2 in a box. And you put your little stuff in. Then you could just start a fire. You can start a fire on your own. This is going to spark, right? See them sparks? So when you got your stuff there and you spark it, and it's not sparking because I haven't got to scrape it, you got to get it rough. So I haven't been using it, but once it's rough, see? And you just put it down by your ambers and it's going to start a fire for you. Get that spark. All you need is that spark. See that spark? That spark going to jump right down. Okay, 2 of these come in the box. When you get it, it's not going to work at first because it's not going to work until you scrape it till it look like this. Not going to work like that. It works like this. You got to get the black off of it. Once you get the black off of it, boom, you can start a fire. You gotta have one of these, okay? Okay. Extreme fire starter. You want to have this, okay? Because you want to be able to cook your food. And if you got the house and you got your weapons where you can go in the backyard and you can dig a hole and you can get some wood and you can start a fire and you put your cast iron pot from out the house in there and cook outside if you can't cook in the house. Right? And when you in the house and you just gotta cook in the house because it's too dangerous, this is a way where you can make you some tea or warm up your little pot without setting the house on fire. Check it out. So I'm gonna get me some of the little muffin things for show and those little candles. I gotta have that. Cause now I could just cook right here. Can't catch on fire because the little candles is down in the steel muffin. Right? I'm gonna get me a stainless steel muffin pan. You know what I'm saying? I mean a cast iron, because I like cast iron. That way I could use it when it's not a disaster. So I'm gonna get me a cast iron muffin pan next week. And I'm gonna have a bunch of those small candles. So I'm gonna get me, if I get this one, I could have a couple pots on this one right here. I can have at least 2 pots on this one. If they're small enough, I could probably have 3 and just have my little candles in there. I could put a candle down in each one and sit whatever I could sit on there to warm it up. $37. You feel me? We got to think outside the box, y'all. Yeah, we got to think outside the box. We got to think outside the box, y'all. So that's a great way. I just seen that recently. That's a great way to be able to warm up your stuff. I'm gonna show it again later. Yeah, keep a bug out bag in your car in case you can't get back home. And also these Sierra Madre emergency sleeping bag. Okay. Sleeping bag. Okay. Sierra Madre emergency sleeping bag. Okay. In these bags, you will not get cold no matter how cold it gets to a certain temperature. But I mean like freezing, and it's real. Look at this. And this, you have your car slide off the road or whatever. This. Okay. Look. Look. Keeps you warm. Reflects 90% of your body heat right back to you. Okay. Waterproof. And you can make, it looks like you can make a little tin out of it if you want to. I have two of them. It's just in a little 3-inch bag, but it unfolds to 36 inches across and 84 inches long. This right here. See?
Hey, what's up? Check it out. I'm here with this sleeping bag that's smaller than the size of a pop can. This is by Sierra Madre. So these are made with durable PET and PET Mylar. So it's an orange-colored sleeping bag, and this is the one that's smaller than the size of a pop can, which is really handy because when backpacking and camping like that, it really does matter how big some things are. And also, in an emergency situation, the number one thing that leads to the most disasters is not having adequate shelter immediately. So this expands into 7 foot by 3 foot. It is huge, and it will keep you warm, insulated, and it's reusable too. If you fold it up right, you can reuse this. You totally can. I got a 3-pack. They come in multiple different sizes and quantities. You got to check these out. This is by Sierra Madre. They really had the backpacker and emergency prepper in mind when they came up with this. I really do like it. Also, because it is really bright orange, number one, you won't have to worry about it blinding you necessarily. Number two, it's great for other people to see you. So if you are in the woods or somewhere like that, let's say during hunting season, people are not going to get you thinking you're a deer or something. So that's really handy as well. Again, this is by Sierra Madre, and it's got a little pull cord too.
You see? You see? Now, let's keep it going. Now, ladies, one of the main things I keep trying to tell you ladies, right, is security. Security. I got 3 daughters, and they got mothers, and I'll be looking out for all of them, even though I'm not with the mothers. So now this is also a winner. This is something that I feel you have to have. What did I do with the? I think I put it on here. So now this is a winner. You have to have this. Smack. Smack, ladies. Smack, Sunda, brothers, men. Order these now for your wife, for your woman, for your mom, granny, aunt, daughters, granddaughters if they old enough. Smack. Okay? My baby girls got this. And this is beautiful. Self-defense. Okay? Get this for your baby girls. Also a light. Okay? So they can see. Can't beat it. Smack. Okay? When they see the red light, it's a go. Okay? The police use stun guns. Make sure your daughter and the women in your family have this. Because if things collapse, crime goes up. Jackery is a great backup generator. Check out Jackery. You should have that in your home, the Jackery. You should have in your home now that you could use for your computers and all that if something happens. Now, another one of the most important things that you have to have is backup electricity. You have to have backup electricity. Okay? You have to have backup electricity. Now, this I have here is 50,000 MPHs. And this is a strong power bank. And this power bank here could run this computer. It could run my refrigerator if it had to for a certain amount of time. So this is one of the most powerful power banks you can get that is this small. Look it up. 50,000 MPHs is nothing to shake a stick at. This is some serious power. Now, the advantages of getting a variety of power banks is because they can charge each other. So anytime you got 3 or 4 power banks in the house, you'll never run out of power because when one goes down, the other one can charge it. And so you constantly are using them to charge each other, right? So power banks are good. This is one is the 50,000 MPHs. Now this one is called the Patriot Solar. So with this being solar, and I've used this, the lights went out one night. I had a friend staying over while they were waiting on their new house to get ready. And the lights went out. And I was able to charge both of our phones with this. And you can see how much energy it has. when it's up, plugged up, and it didn't lose any energy. It lost no power at all. These lights light up and they all red. And I charged 2 cell phones all night, and it was all still all red lights. It was still fully powered. It was fully powered. And then if I have to, if it's a bad situation, I can put it in the sun. This is called a Patriots. This is great. I also have this one. See, this one is 10,000. This one is 10,000. MPHs, and this one is 50,000 MPHs. So this one is 5 times stronger than this one. So as long as I keep this one charged up, when I use this one, if I don't got no sun, I just plug this one into this one and charge this one up. Then I plug this one into this one and charge this one up. Then I plug this one into this one to charge this one back up. And I'm rocking and rolling. They all pretty much charged. And as long as I keep this one charged, I can charge up these. So you use a charge for a charge. And the best one to charge it up with is the one that's got the solar panels, because you can lay this one in the sun and keep recharging it and using this one to keep this one charged, and use this one to keep both of them charged. And so you always got electricity, and that light and that refrigerator, just plugging up the refrigerator to a backup power source makes all the difference in the world, because then your food won't spoil. Okay? Your food won't spoil. I also have this one. This one is the Mopi. These are very important, y'all. You need electricity. And now you're living in a wonderful time where you can have plenty of backup electricity. Plug your phone up into this, and it's charged. No problem. When this runs down, plug this into this to charge this back up. And this is going to charge this, and this is not going to lose any power charging this. How could you lose? So you always got phone. You don't have to go to the car and take a chance with your life in a dangerous situation sitting in the car. Whatever you do, don't sit in the car and run the car and let the carbon monoxide take you out. So you got to get power sources, okay? The most important thing you need is power sources, okay? When the grid goes down, you need electricity, all right? Now, Blackbeard fire starters. This is great. The Blackbeard fire starter. This is where you strike it at. Now, I could take one of these matches and I could throw it in a bathtub full of water. I could take it out the bathtub and it'll strike. It'll strike. I could throw it in the water. I could drop it in the stream and it'll strike. And a lot of times when the power grid is off, that's why you want to have protection, because now your backyard or your front yard is your kitchen. Just open the back door, go in the backyard. You got your protection. Pow, pow. You set up your little barbecue grill. Hey, no harm, no foul. And you cook outside in the backyard until the power people get the power back on. You understand? So these matches by the great company Blackbeard fire starters. You need to know these companies. These companies need to be bookmarked on your computer, and you need to be following these people on Instagram so when they have new products, you know about it. Okay? Never take everything for granted like it's sweet. Now, okay, this is for the next level. Now, if you next level survival, this is next level survival right here. Ain't nobody gonna tell you about this. Now, brothers, listen to me, and sisters too. This is by Duratech. These are called four-way multifunctional utility key and seal lock key. Utility key and seal lock key. Now, this for the gorillas out there. You're a gorilla. If you're going to make sure your baby got food, got water, you're going to make sure your queen got water. She going to see, oh, I'm with the realest alive. Order this in case it's really bad. Four-way multifunctional utility key and seal lock key. Now, what is this, Pharaoh? Y'all owe me. Hey, listen. My PayPal and my Venmo and my Cash App should be buzzing. Because I could be doing lectures and getting paid for this. Now, this is what's in there. Now, you know what these will do? Let me see if I can show you. Let me see if I can show you. Let me show you something. Let me watch this. You ain't gonna believe this. Let me find a picture so it's really okay. Okay. Watch this. Now, watch this. Look, they don't even want to show you. This is so top secret. They don't even want to show y'all. Let me tell you something. They don't even want to show y'all. They're not going to show you this. Boy, they don't even want to show y'all what I'm telling y'all. They don't even want to show you. Hold on. They don't even want to show you. They don't even want to show you. Okay. But you're going to get the idea. I'm going to try to give you the idea. So outside of buildings, a lot of these buildings, banks and stuff like that. Okay, let me see. Ooh, they don't want to show y'all. Ooh-wee. See, this is why I'm demonetized. I mean, ooh, bad Pharaoh. Okay. Outside of buildings, if you see a lot of buildings, right, you're going to see these little metal doors, or you're going to see a spigot. And that spigot don't have no way for you to turn it on, right? So it's going to be, they're not going to show it. They're not going to show it. They're going to be mad at me for showing you. But let's say you go to a bank or you're outside walking. You're going to see these little things outside of a bank. But a lot of times it's going to be a metal plate over it, right? There's going to be a metal plate over it like this, but this ain't really it. They won't show it. But when you walk in and you see a lot of banks and buildings like that, there's going to be a little plate. And that little plate, right, it's going to be a way to open it. But the only way you can open it is with one of these. So one of these is for opening it, and they got every size, no matter what size it is, because it's got a little nut in it. Open it. And then when you open it, you're going to see a spigot. But it ain't going to have no handle to turn on, so you're going to need one of these to turn it on. So you have one of these, let's say it's desperate. Babylon didn't shut you down. They didn't turn off the water in the black community. You go to a bank or some building, they going to still have water. Outside, they got a way for them to wash the sidewalk and stuff like that. And it's going to be a little door. And with these, you can open the door and turn on the water. Okay? So one of these opens the door, no matter what size, because each one comes in every size that they make these in. So these are every size to turn on any spigot and every size to turn on every door to get to the spigot. So you got your 2 5-gallon containers. You creep with your black mask and stuff on like a secret agent. You go to one of these big buildings that's rich, and you open that little door, and then you turn on their water that they use to wash the sidewalks, and you fill up your water containers and turn it back off and close it. With these 2 things right here. Now, this is some serious guerrilla survival. This next level survival. We talking about guerrilla revolutionary right here, right? So they can't keep me away from the water because I got the key to the city. I got the keys to the city. And this is how they wash those sidewalks. And this is where they have the hose hooked up. You ever notice they'll have the hose, but when you come, you can't see where they had the hose at because that little metal door, they close it and they lock it. So you can open the door and turn on the water. Because all them buildings have an outside spigot. All of them. They gotta have it. They gotta have a way for water to come outside. And this will get you to the water. Okay? I'll be watching the real gorilla survivalists. I mean, okay? All the buildings downtown have it. So go to YouTube, look for Duratec, and it's going to say 4-way multifunctional utilities key and seal lock key. Utility key and seal lock key. Screenshot it, watch it again, and screenshot this. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'll make sure my people, they're not finna do us dirty. We know the tricks of the trisnade. We know the tricks of the trade over here on Pharaoh said that. I'm telling you on what's up. So they're gonna stop playing with us. They're gonna really stop playing with us. Now this is a must-have. A Swiss Army knife. Order a Swiss Army knife, but not any Swiss Army knife. You got to order this Swiss Army knife. Now you say, what's the big deal about that Swiss Army knife? I'm going to show you. When you order your Swiss Army knife, you got to order the Swiss Army knife that has one thing that they all don't have. Okay? There's one thing that they all don't have. This bad boy I don't want to open up. I almost got to get a wrench to open this one. Watch this. There's one thing. See, another good tool. This is a great tool right here. Look. Wrench and a whole bunch of other things on it. Because this thing is playing hard to get. Okay. When you get your Swiss Army knife, you got to get the one. There's a special one they don't want you to know about. It's amazing how they got this thing where you cannot find it, too. It's crazy that you cannot find. I can't never find. This is the craziest thing because it has a thing on here you cannot find, which is a saw. And I can never find it. It's like it's hidden. This is so crazy. I can never find the saw. I can't never find a saw. Which is just amazing. You cannot see it. But you want to get this one that got the saw. I'm going to find it. I can never find it. Man, they made a good job making this thing. You cannot find the saw. That's so crazy. This one has a saw, but it's hidden. It's unbelievable. This is unbelievable. You can't see it. It's here. It's in plain sight, too. It's hidden. It's a saw. And it's right here. I found it last time, but I had to go through all this to figure out where it's at. And it's always hidden. Unbelievable. I think this is unbelievable. And this happens to me every time. I cannot see it. I cannot see the saw. I can't see it. It's just unbelievable. How did they hide it so good? And then once you see it, you can just grab it. Crazy. Wow, you talk about some ingenuity. There you go. Wow. You can't see the way to open it, but this one has the saw. You want to get the one with the saw. It's in the middle, but it just looks like a plate, and you can't see no way to grab it. It doesn't have all of these. You see, they have the little thing to grab it. This don't. It's just look like a piece of metal just laying there. I don't know how the hell you're supposed to open it. I took the knife and touched it, and then it started moving up. And I said, that's it. It's crazy. This the one you want to get. It's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tools. You want the saw. The saw is going to allow you to get firewood, cut rope, and it's better than a knife because of the jagged edge, and it's extremely soft. Now, extremely sharp. Now, this one is going to be the hardest one to find. So search Amazon and make sure it says saw. It's $24. This is worth a fortune. It's got to have, if it don't have the saw, you don't want it. We talk about survival. You can't beat it. And look, you can do all that stuff with this little thing right here. And this one is the hardest to find. Ain't it, information man? They got it so you can't find it. Because this is the ultimate survival tool right here. This one is like one of the main things you want to have when you talk about your survival kit. Real talk. Another thing you want to get is the mace, the pepper spray mace. This one, you just lift it up, put your fingers there, lady, and right? But, you know, this don't beat the bear spray. The bear spray is the ultimate. So this does not beat the bear spray. The bear spray is really the one. Which I got stuff everywhere. I don't know where it's at. But this don't beat the bear spray, but this is still good to get. But it don't beat the bear spray. The bear spray is the ultimate. The bear spray, but this is still good to have, ladies. Have it on your key ring. Just put your finger over there. This could protect you. So, ladies, you definitely want to have, and the brothers, you want to have the bear spray, the pepper spray, and the stun gun. This is your protection besides your weapons, whatever weapons you got. Right? And these are good to just have. Ladies, you know, brothers, make sure your ladies just got these anyway. Just make sure they got these. Smack I sent the pink one to my daughters. They were so thrilled. They can put on their key rings, got a light on it so they can see when they're walking up to the house. And this one, I gave to my daughter's mother because she lived in a house by herself. And I got to protect her because if something happened to her, then my daughter going to be tripping. So even though we don't get along, I'll be just looking out for her every now and then. When I find something I think she needs, I'll mail it to her or I'll order it and they'll send it to her. When my daughter get here, then I'm going to get it off for her wherever she's going to be living at. I'm going to get it for her too. My 3 daughters, the bear spray. Okay. All right. Now we're going to continue. Let's take a break and continue. Let me show you once again what to do with the food. Now you might have to move stealth, right? So you might have to move stealth when it comes to security, self-defense. You starving, you gotta get something to eat. You might have to eat a bird or anything. Who knows how bad it gets? But you gotta move stealth sometime. You might be in a situation where a man is hunting you and he has a gun and you don't, and you gotta try to figure out some kind of way to get that weapon from him or to demobilize him without him knowing where you at. So things like this are great. This is great because these are like brass knuckles, but it's a slingshot. So what you're going to want to have is you're going to want to have some ball bearings or some marbles in your bug out bag. If you got ball bearings or marble and you out here trying to hunt me and I'm camouflaged and I can get in the bushes, I can protect myself because I can aim and fire. Bing! Duke! If I hit you right, you're going to be leaking. So even if I don't take you out, you're going to be leaking. You ain't going to necessarily know where it came from. I might have to get you a couple times. But depending on if I get you right, it could be over for you. It's nice and quiet. Also, it's always good to have something like this because, like, okay, there's a tree branch you're trying to get down. You don't have to use these type of things for fighting. You could use these type of things to help work go faster, like a hammer. So it's like having a hammer. You understand? You understand? Like a hammer. Once I open it enough time, I know where it's at now because I've done it a couple times. I haven't used it, but I know exactly where it's at now. It's that piece in the middle, so I know where it's at. I just haven't opened it before too much, but I know where it's at. So that's where these come in at because you're trying to get some, you try to get firewood, it won't come off the tree. Pop, pop. You can move quicker. You can make things happen. You can use your hands. You understand? You can use your hands. So anytime you using something, some kind of knuckles or some type of metal, it's not always just for self-defense. It's a way of being able to use your stuff for a tool. It's a branch. I'm sawing, I'm trying to get it loose. I can just knock it loose. Come on, I got stuff to do. Break them, throw them in there, start a fire. You know what I'm saying? So these are great right here because you can work like work gloves. You can use them for self-defense too, but like work gloves, so you're protecting your hands. Because you have to protect your hands, because if you try to survive, the last thing you need is to hurt your hands. You understand? So something's wrong. A storm hit the house. It didn't do a lot of damage, so you can still live in the house. But maybe a certain room is torn up, wood is everywhere. Okay, you're going to put these on. You're going to put on your steel-toe boots or your steel-toe tennis shoes, right? That's got the insulated bottom, so if you step on a nail, it won't go through. Because a lot of times in emergency situations, you mess around and hurt yourself. So you need some shoes where nails can't go through, where nothing can fall on your toe. You need gloves like this to protect your hands. You need certain kind of mask to protect your face, because in the process of surviving a storm or something bad, you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to get hurt. So you want protection. You want some type of armored clothes on, even if it ain't nothing but the catcher's thing that catchers wear to play baseball. Put that on your chest. But you want to cover your body as much as possible. My father's a carpenter, and one of the things they do is they cover as much of their body as they possibly can, so they ain't got to worry about uh, bruising themselves on the wood or a nail doing something or anything while they working. They always want to have on the kind of clothes that protects the body. That's why they used to wear overalls, because overalls are very protective. Those overalls were good overalls, not the cheap ones. And a lot of times, that's why they wear knee. You see a lot of carpenters, they wear things on their knees. They wear things on their shin. They wear shin guards. They wear knee pads. They do that so they ain't got to worry about, they can just keep working. They bump their leg, they can keep going. When you're busy, you be bumping your leg. You be bumping your arm. You be hurting yourself because you're moving fast. Well, in an emergency situation, you want to be able to move fast without worrying that you bumped into something. You can bump into it and keep going. You're like a tank out here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an emergency situation. So you gear up and then you go and you start doing what you got to do to survive for yourself or protect your family. I mean, a man that really can do self-defense that's got on protective gear and you don't, you most likely gonna lose because he don't got a lot of weak places to hit and you do. Well, I got these gloves on. You can swing something at me. I could punch it, which, you see? I mean, you could take these and hit a brick wall. You'll see you ain't going to feel nothing. I swear to God, you ain't going to feel nothing when you hit it with these knuckles. These knuckles is like some hard plastic. I wish I had something to experiment to show you. These knuckles is like some hard plastic. And you can bang on something real hard, you won't feel nothing. See, they don't bend, They stick up because it's not you know what I'm saying? It stick up, it don't bend. These some good tactical gloves, and it's got all this stuff so you can't cut me with a knife. I can't cut myself. It's all these are great. Tactical gloves. Mine's a little small. I ordered a medium because I got small hands. I'm finna order a large pair. I'll have two. You need work goggles. See? Now don't glass like this. You need work goggles. That's why I got to get two. You have to start getting yourself prepared because the situations is getting grim in the world. And survival is everything. So you got to be prepared, people. This is a very important live stream. Hit that like button. Why do I only got 172 likes? And also send it to everybody. Send it to everybody. Okay, another thing that I'm getting ready to get is a battery case to save my batteries and have them organized. My batteries are always in a box or something rolling around. They're never organized. This way, when I order this next week, I'll know where all my batteries are. It's got a battery tester in it, the good ones, and they'll be organized. And I'll have whichever battery I need for a situation. These little things I take my time and get. Now, y'all got to get this. The NOCO Boost. All this, you come out from the store and your car won't start. Ladies, you go in the glove compartment or in the trunk, you get this, you hook it to the battery, start the car, put this in, jump in the car, and drive off. You don't got to be out there ask somebody, could you give me a jump? Could you give me a jump? You ain't got to call AAA and wait 10, 15, 20, 30, 45 minutes for AAA. Pop the hood, stick this on the battery, start the car, and go. I bought one for my youngest daughter. It stays charged up. It works great. I had a weak battery in my car. So every time I try to start my car, it would start. And I had this. Hook it to the battery, start it up, went to the store. The battery's weak, so the alternator's not charging it. Come back home, park it. I didn't have to run and get a battery. I went and got a battery like 2 days later. I use this every time to start the car and drive it with a weak battery. Because once the alternator starts going, it's going to run on the alternator anyway. And I used this for 2 or 3 days and then went and got a battery. This is a must. Because sometimes your alternator go out. And when you charge the battery and start running, the car's still going to turn off. So you might not even be able to get to the mechanic. But if you got this, all you need is some bungee cords, hook it to the battery, take the bungee cord and wrap it where it can't move around, close the hood and drive off the battery and this and go right to get it fixed. Because this will have enough energy to get you to where you got to go. So this is a must. I love mine. And they got bigger ones. So if you got a big truck or something, get the one that's got more juice. But this one I got is enough juice And this is a lifesaver. Make sure your wife got this in the car, okay? So now she can get from out in the street as fast as possible. I was talking to a lady, an older lady. I told her, you need to get this. And she said, I just call, sometimes people, women, stop being so damn hard-headed. She gonna tell me, well, I just call the roadside people. I'm saying, why would you sit out there and wait on the roadside people when you could be gone home in 90 seconds? Where she a woman by herself and she just let these people take all her money every time something happens. And I had to talk crazy to her to make her go ahead and buy the damn thing. I said, this is why ladies, y'all get ripped off. If you don't listen to your relative or your man or your male friend tell you nothing, and you go out there and you let them people rip you off. Why would you sit out there waiting for roadside assistance when you could pop the hood, hook this to the red, the black to the black, start the car, close the hood, and be gone in 80 seconds? You could be gone. You could be gone before they answer the phone. And the longer you out there, the more danger you in. And brothers and sisters was running out of their batteries running down, they was running out of gas when that last storm hit down there in New Orleans because nobody had no electricity. They was trying to use the electricity off their car. They was trying to plug their phone to their car because they had none of this survival stuff that I'm showing y'all. Now, another thing I'm definitely getting over the next couple months is water bricks. These are water bricks that you fill with water and you can stack them up. See them stacked up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So these are water bricks that in advance I could put water in them, stack them in the corner out of the way. I can even cover them and use them to sit stuff on top of them or whatever. But look how much water I can have already. Okay, I got out the sink. I'm going to drink anything if I ain't got no water. On top of that, if you got a Berkey, you can fill the Berkey, filter the water, and as you fill the Berkey and the Berkey fill up, put the water in here. So I can have purified water in here by taking water out the sink, put it in the Berkey, then take the water out the Berkey and start filling up the water bricks. So if I got 4 water bricks, I'll be able to fill them up in one day. I'll be able to fill up all of these probably like if I just worked all 24 hours, but I could fill up all of these in 2 days, I got them all full. Because I probably could fill up 5 of them without working hard today and then the other 5 tomorrow, straight out the Berkey. Put the water in the Berkey and then take the water out the Berkey and start filling up the bricks. Now, you got gallons of water, nice and comfortable, sitting in the house. Now, another thing, if there's no food nowhere, is sprout jars. Because if you're starving, you're going to be more than happy to eat these sprouts. And so if you got some sprout jars, you can have your house locked down like it's the end of the world, and you can have your sprout jars everywhere, and you could be sprouting broccoli sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, and all kind of sprouts to eat so you won't starve to death if there's a total collapse. So you could be growing your own sprouts. And I'm telling you, when you're starving, you'd be amazed what looks good. So this is a great way if you're looking at long-term collapse. Shipping is down from other countries. The shelves empty. They tell you the shelves going to be empty for 8 weeks. Well, the last time you can go get food, if you just went and bought Sprouts, all you do is take half of them out and they grow back. They grow back. They keep filling up. They keep filling it up. And you just put them in these jars and turn them upside down. These jars got screens on the bottom so it can breathe. And now you're constantly rejuvenating Sprouts because these Sprouts actually breathe it in there. And I mean, it could be a lifesaver if you just really, and when you get hungry enough, any type of food you could come up with, you're going to do it. And these are cheap things you can buy now and just have them just in case. Because you see, with the trade war with China, what's really going on. You see what's going on. I know y'all see what's going on. I know you see it. Ain't no way you can't see it. Ain't no way you can't see what's going on. You see what's going on. And if you got a house, you definitely need to have some power stations. If you ain't got no power station in your house, you crazy. It don't make no sense that if you got a house, you're a businessman, you got to do your work on your computer. You got food in the refrigerator. It ain't no reason why you can't turn your lights on, why you don't have a jackery or one of these power stations where you can keep your house lights on and keep your house running. And with this jackery, you can get the solar panel to plug to it and lay that outside in the sun, and it's going to constantly charge it up. So, like, you need to have this in your house. This is my next big purchase is the jackery. So I just have all the lights on. I ain't got to worry about using them small ones. I'll just use this one. I just use this one. So you definitely need to have this anyway. If you work from home, you need to have this anyway. So when there's a power outage in your area, you just plug all your computer stuff up there and you still online and you still working. Unless your internet went out. But if your internet went out, but your phone is still on, you could use your hotspot and just hotspot your computer to your phone. Plug your phone in there too so it don't die out, and you can still be on the internet through your hotspot. If you have to. These are things you got to get. We're going to have to take this stuff serious because you see these people is out here ready to go to war. Ready. Now, I'm going to the store tomorrow, and this is one of the main things. That I gotta have. Toilet paper and paper towels. And see them big old paper towels? I got a special store I go to that got the big paper towels. So you save money. They last forever. They got the giant paper towels. Because this one of the first things they're going to be fighting for is toilet paper and paper towels. And trust me, if you run out of toilet paper, a house of four, how your living conditions gonna be when you use the restroom and y'all ain't got no toilet paper? That's gonna be a disaster. And get like the bamboo toilet paper, stop putting that bleach, using that bleach, and having your woman wipe herself with all that bleach. Stop buying that cheap toilet paper and putting it on your, sensitive areas of your body. Come on, you gotta be smarter than that. Why you got your queen wiping herself with bleach? And why is you wiping yourself with bleach? Buy toilet paper that ain't been bleached. Seriously. It's time to stock up and stop tricking off, buying a bunch of trash and garbage. Now, if you got a bug out bag, you want to have this because this is going to allow you to get wood quick and easy. This is a saw. You just put it on there and go, it'll cut anything down. This will cut a big tree down if you do it long enough. But as far as limbs and branches, you wrap it over there, cut, cut, just like that. Small, it goes in this little pouch. These are the things that I'm showing you, the things I got to go out and get to finish my situation. I got to get this right here. In case I got to cut wood, I got to get limbs and cut wood. I want to be able to do it quick and easy. This is a lifesaver right here. Go look it up on the internet, watch somebody using it. You'll see. You got to start investing in things and stop depending on the system. You understand? Things like this folding solar panels, where if the sun is shining in the house real good in the window, you just lay it in the window. You ain't even got to go outside. They fold up real small, could go in your bug out bag, could go anywhere. Okay? If you got a house, why you got all that junk in the house and you ain't got nothing important in the house? Why you don't have this in the house? And a couple of lights hooked up to some solar panels and growing food in your little thing. At least you got some food growing. You can have this thing full of food. Right in the house. Well, you can get the tubes where they grow vertical growing and really just, a lot of people's getting the vertical grows right in their house. Take up less room than this. Grow more food too. But you're going to have to start thinking of being self-sufficient when this stuff shut down. Now, like I say, one of the main things you got to get in your house is you got to get the Berkey water system. I didn't have mine a couple of years. Man, it feels so good to not have to buy no water no more at the stove. If you got a big family, get the big one right there. Get the big one. Fill it up. You ain't got to go back to the store buy no water no more. You take water right out the sink and put it in there. They're going to send you some ink. And when you first set it up, you fill it with water and you put the ink in the top, red ink. And the water going to come out clean with no ink. It's going to clean everything out. You get all 4 filters. 2 going to be at the top to clean everything, and 2 going to be at the bottom to take all the fluoride out. You won't have no fluoride in your water. I got, I think the third one from the right. I think I got, no, matter of fact, I think I got the second one from the right. And I ain't had to buy no water. Man, you know how much money I'm saving? Man, I was throwing all that money away buying water. And they telling me it's spring water. They telling me it's purified, but I can't prove it. I know my water is purified because I got the filters and I'm putting it in there. And I could test it to make sure it's work. So I know my water clean. I don't know what they telling me it's all this water and it might be out the sink. Why would I have somebody take some water out the sink and clean it when I could clean it myself? I clean my water myself. You know how much thousands of dollars I probably done saved not buying water in a couple of years? Man, I know I done saved thousands. Man, I done saved thousands of dollars. I know that for a fact by not having to buy no water. So look, y'all, that's the information I had. Start getting yourself together. Start storing your food. Start having your cabinet full of mason jars with food already in there. Start having your rice already enclosed, like I showed you at the beginning of this video, already prepared. And stop thinking that these people is God and that they're going to take care of you and they Almighty God. They not Almighty God. You cannot be trusting them and then they don't live right. They don't live right. They're destroying the animals. They're destroying the natural environment. And you already know they got bad karma. The only way you don't know they got bad karma because you participating in it. So you don't want to admit it's bad karma. But you know, doggone well, they're not going to be able to raise enough pigs and cows and chickens for the world to eat. You know it and I know it. So you know some corners finna be cut for y'all to eat all that meat. And you ain't gonna know what you eating. Okay? So you need to clean up how you eating too. And follow me over on Vegan Intel. Go subscribe to Vegan Intel. If you ain't over there, I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know why y'all ain't over on Vegan Intel. That's why I started another channel, because a lot of y'all, you don't want to hear nothing intelligent where you got to change. You just want to hear foolishness. You don't want nobody to encourage you to eat and exercise. Those videos get the least views because you're taking it for granted. But what you going to do when he can't fix you no more? What you going to do when the hospitals and stuff is shut down and you get sick? Now you can't run to them for no quick fix. So you're going to have to keep yourself in shape. You're going to have to exercise and you're going to have to eat healthy. Fruits and vegetables, herbs and spices, nuts and seeds. If you do that, then you help to do a good job keeping that clean. Because you got to keep that clean, because they'll go try to clone that and they'll go try to GMO that. If everybody ain't standing on it. But if everybody's standing on it, they can't do it because we'll just start growing it ourselves. And so another thing I'm doing in 2025, I'm making a lot of changes. I'm going to farmers markets all summer. I'm going to start going to farmers markets and get my food straight from farmers that's growing it themselves organically themselves. I'm not going to be trusting these stores. Let me go to the people that grow it. It's going to have way more nutrition too, because they say every day the nutrition is coming out of it while you waiting for it to be shipped. Why am I waiting for something to be shipped when there's people in Illinois going to pick it They're going to pick it Thursday. They're going to be here Saturday. They're going to pick it Friday. They're going to be here Saturday. They're going to pick it Saturday. They're going to be here Sunday. That's going to be the most nutrition in the food. They picked it yesterday instead of you getting food that got picked 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago. They have to freeze it and then thaw it out and sell it to you and all this so weird. Spray it with stuff. You go in Whole Foods or you go in one of the stores and it's constantly spraying. Spray. And I found there's all kind of stuff in that spray that they spraying. That's why the food don't go bad. They spraying it with a chemical right there in front of your face. You ever been there picking your vegetables and that spray come on? You ever notice how you jump back? You don't want it to spray on you? So that's your subconscious telling you, now you don't want that spray on you. It ain't the fact you don't want to get wet. It's the fact your mind telling you what the hell's in that spray. You know, they have the spray at the top of where the vegetables at. And they come on, shh. What is that? That's the stuff, stop it. That ain't no water. It's water in there. That's some kind of chemical to stop it from wilting. But I tell you something, when you go get stuff like, when you get vegetables on stock, let me give you some game. If you go get collard greens or spinach and stuff like that, man, listen, get you some water out your Berkey or some clean water. Put it in a bowl, a tall glass, a tall jar or something, and take your vegetables and put it in that water and put it in the refrigerator. I bet it won't wilt. I had bought some spinach. It was in the refrigerator, it started wilting. I took it out and I started thinking, you can still feed this stuff. So I did an experiment. I took it out. I put a pot of water and I put it in there. You know, it stood back up and it stayed a week and a half. So now I said, because I'm a grower. I used to grow in Hawaii. I said, it's thirsty. Just because they pick it, it's still alive. So you can't buy no live food and don't water it. So now, when I get them vegetables, and I get them tall vegetables, celery, stuff like that, man, I get a pot, I put all that in there and sit it in the refrigerator, and it don't wilt. I sit the broccoli in there, and I run the water up to make sure it's down the water. It don't wilt, because what? It's still drinking. I should have been knew that. So start sitting your vegetables, the tall ones. Start sitting the bottom part where the roots was at. Start sitting it in some fresh water and put it in the refrigerator. I bet it won't wilt as fast as it's been wilting. Don't lay it down in there. Stand it up in some water. And usually you go back 2 days and it's wilting. You're going to go back 3 days, it's going to still look the same. You're like, yeah. Yeah, I'm giving y'all game. Start standing your vegetables up in some water and put it in the refrigerator. It's going to last way long. It ain't going to wilt. It's not going to wilt. If you leave it in a long time, it'll turn brown, but it still won't wilt. Real talk, it won't flop all down. It'll still be like this. Real talk. Try it. You're going to see. So look, I hope y'all learned something. Survival's everything. We're going to end with a couple survival videos for some encouragement, to encourage you to grow your food, encourage you to get your survival gear, right? All right. Victory. Watch these before you log off and support the channel. Okay? Run them likes up, but support the channel. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Okay? Support the channel. Because if you don't support me, ain't nobody going to support me. And YouTube definitely ain't going to support me. Because I'm supposed to be over here talking about Diddy and gossip. I'm keeping it a billion. So watch these videos. Don't leave until they're done. Deuces.